If you go online nowadays, you're going to see so many videos of calisthenics athletes doing crazy planche variations like planche into handstand, planche push-ups. But here's the weird part. In gymnastics, there's actually a lot of elite gymnasts that give up training planche, and we're going to see why this is the case in this video. Now, these gymnasts, they can perform so many complex and difficult movements like iron cross, Maltese, and various complex sequences on rings, but a lot of them choose not to pursue planche, or they might even give up on training it. So how does that make sense? How is it that we see so many people online doing planche, making it look seemingly easy to unlock, while elite gymnasts who have been training for years, they choose to give up on it? Well, I actually found a very interesting topic on why planche is difficult, and it's not really to do with strength. It's more so to do with how your body works. So let's get into it. So why do so many athletes get stuck on planche? Many athletes have been stuck on planche for months or even years. Despite confidently claiming that they're going to achieve planche in just a matter of months, they have a secret formula, they know what they're doing, they know how to train for it, and they're going to get it. But then time goes by and we see them yet again not unlocking the planche. So why were they so confident in the first place? And was it something that they didn't know about that is potentially stopping them from achieving this move? Calisthenics is about strength, but if it was just about strength, then we would see so many more people not plateauing and achieving the skills in a given amount of time frame that they said they would achieve those skills. We would see everyone that is strong enough unlock the same skills in the same amount of time. But clearly that does not happen. Most people get stuck because they don't truly understand the structure of their bodies, and ultimately in calisthenics you are trying to hold your body in place by using strength. Two athletes can be equally strong, but one might be able to do a planche and the other not. So one of the most overlooked factors in calisthenics is leverage. Leverage determines how much force you need to apply to hold your body in place and where that force must be applied. And if we don't understand leverage and we ignore it completely, then we might put ourselves at a disadvantage when it comes to doing calisthenics, because we might try to focus on learning harder skills than going for other more advanced skills that might be easier for us to attain. But to understand leverage first, we must look at what a lever actually is. A lever is some rigid object that rotates about a pivot point when some amount of force is applied. So every lever has a pivot point, one or more lever arms, and a force being applied to rotate or turn the lever. Some examples of levers in daily life are seesaws or scissors. So we consider a lever to be efficient if we don't need a lot of force to move it or to rotate that lever. So when this is the case, we say that the lever has good leverage. And if a lever has poor leverage, that means that you need a massive amount of force to actually get that lever to turn or rotate. So I know we went very far into physics, but how does this now apply to planche? So we mentioned how a lever is made up of one or more lever arms. So the length of the arms determines how efficient the lever is, or if it has good leverage. If a lever has long lever arms, that means we need more force applied to stop the lever from moving. And now that we know what levers are and what leverage is, in calisthenics, your body is basically acting like a lever. If you look at planche, you have two lever arms. You have your entire upper body, and then your arms are the second lever arm. And then you have your shoulders acting as the pivot point. And then your muscles are the force being applied to stabilize this position in place. So in calisthenics, your body is basically a lever. Your muscles are producing force to hold yourself in different positions or levers. So if your body is a lever, that means that the length of your arms, the length of your torso down to your legs is all important because it all determines how much force or strength you need to hold certain skills or positions in place. Now that we've covered levers and leverage, looking back at the planche, we can see how problematic it becomes. So as we already mentioned, in a planche, the pivot point is your shoulder. If you have really long arms, that means that the lever is more unstable and you have to be stronger to stop your shoulders from collapsing and be able to hold the planche in place. Not only that, but the shoulders are actually, compared to other muscles in your body, they're kind of small muscles. And the smaller the muscle, the less force it can generate. So that's why planche is so difficult, because you need so much force produced by your shoulders to hold it in place. And if your arms are longer, it becomes even more difficult to build enough strength for your shoulders to handle holding the planche. So you'll see a lot of people saying that, oh, your arm length doesn't matter, bro, just learn planche. Or, you know, if you're complaining about your dimensions of your body, then people say that you're just coping. And this is actually not true. Not only that, but people say that your limb lengths are insignificant when it comes to calisthenics. And again, that's also not true. The smallest change in proportions of your body makes the biggest difference in the amount of strength you need to hold certain skills in place. This is why taking off your shoes to do muscle ups or pull ups also makes it feel just that tiny bit lighter. If you're really tall, you have really long arms, you have a really long torso and legs, then it is going to be harder for you to achieve the planche. You're just going to need so much more force and strength. You're going to have to condition your joints and tendons to handle this force as well. On the other hand, if you have shorter arms, shorter torso, and shorter legs, and you don't have big legs, or your lower body mass is significantly less than your upper body mass, then these are all things that will benefit you in unlocking planche faster, because ultimately you will need less strength to unlock it, as opposed to someone that might have bigger legs, longer arms. Your body proportions do influence the planche, and this is why so many gymnasts give up on planche, because they are doing competitions, and if they have to spend a disproportionate amount of time on one skill like the planche, it just simply does not become worth it. So they move on to other things that they can unlock in a faster amount of time. So many people, they underestimate how much or how long planche training is going to take them. They make bold claims saying that they're going to achieve planche in 6 months, in 3 months, and then that simply doesn't happen. And the reason for that is just that they don't understand their own proportions, or they might have seen someone unlock a planche in 3 months and then they think that they can do it in that amount of time as well. There have been cases of people being stuck on planche for years and years, so this definitely does happen to people. And it's not just a matter of, oh, you just need to train harder, you know, because some people just have an unfair advantage over others in achieving calisthenics skills. So I hope that was an interesting topic, because I do think that a lot of people ignore this topic in calisthenics. It is very easy to ignore because we don't want to think of ourselves as being limited by our genes, by our genetics. But it is something that we do need to consider if one day we want to unlock the planche.